Good morning, my friends. Today, as you saw earlier, we are back in Letchworth State Park. We are doing what All Trails claims to be an 8.8 mile trail today. It is an out and back trail, so I'm guessing it'll be like 9.5 after all the walking I do from filming and whatnot. But we're gonna see some pretty cool things today. We're actually coming up on one now. It's not very clear to see, but here at Letchworth there is a dam overlook, and there are obviously gorge overlooks. And while we're here, hopefully we're going to get to see maybe what's left of frozen waterfalls. We've had a warm up here in Pennsylvania, if you're not from Pennsylvania anyway. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I put the miles in, and after the past couple weeks of work, I have really needed to have some peace and quiet. And it is definitely quiet out here today. I really don't think there's going to be anybody else on trail. The footsteps through the snow back there at the first section, they were a day or two old. They were kind of filled in, a little ice glazed over. But anyway, I can see the dam. I don't know how far it's going to be, but I wouldn't predict very far. I mean, if I can kind of see it. But thanks for coming. Please hang out with me. You got to see some pretty awesome stuff. Let's go. By the way, the trail we're doing today is called the High Banks Trail, and it also says Trail 20, so I'm guessing this is maybe the 20th trail here at Letchworth. I'm not 100% sure on that. Never looked that up, but yeah, we're definitely getting to the part where you can see down inside. So let me turn this camera around and kind of show you guys a little bit of what I'm seeing. Here, we'll put it on an wide angle, that way you can see the shit like rock gorge wall over there. The dam is right there. And that's the river. So the dam says it's a fourth of a mile away, and wow, you can see it every step I take. You can really see it. But that is, as I suspected, the Genesee River. We are not far away from Rochester, New York. We're 50-60 miles or so. The last sign I seen, I can't remember where it was, but it said Rochester, 63 miles. You come up is it Route 390, Interstate 390? I don't know. 390 to get here. And yeah, this is awesome. I'm so happy I chose to come out here today. It is kind of a moody day. It's a little bit chilly. Our current temps right now, let me look. It says we're sitting pretty at 42 today, or right now anyway. We do have a blizzard warning in effect for tomorrow for the nor'easter side of Pennsylvania. But yeah, we're getting a little bit more of a view of the dam here. So right there actually is Park Road, and that leads you into the park. You can hear traffic. You can see it. Eventually we will get away from the traffic, and according to the details I've read about this trail, you can be all sorts of places, but it does lead you into more remote areas of the park. Oh, this is cool. This dam is huge. Huge. Kind of looks like a castle from out here in the distance. We do have some remnants of what used to be a wall or some type of foundation. But up here are buildings that are, well, one building anyway, that's rock. The other one, I'm not sure what it is. Might be some kind of store or something. But there is a deer out here. Almost scared the living daylights out of me. So that obviously would be like a snack shop gift store, I'm guessing. Probably more like a snack shop. But over here we have a kiosk that explains a little bit about it, and I will read some of that for you guys. Mount Morris Dam. In reaction to severe flooding that occurred almost every 7 years in the Genesee Valley since the 1800s, Congress authorized the Mount Morris Dam project under the Flood Control Act of 1944. Completed in 1952 by the United States Army Corps of Engineers, the dam took 4 years to construct at a cost of $25 million. So $25 million is what you can get yourself a dam for $25 million. Spanning 1,028 feet between the canyon walls, the Mount Morris Dam provides flood protection to the farm, residential, industrial, and commercial areas of the lower Genesee River Valley to Lake Ontario, including the city of Rochester. It is estimated that the dam has prevented over $1 million of downstream damage in its years of operation. Sorry, those folks came and we struck up a conversation. The Mount Morris Dam is known as a dry dam since its 9-foot floodgates are only closed to hold back water when necessary, about 20% of the time. Once the danger has passed, the water is released at a rate to prevent flooding downstream. Impounding water has greatly changed the habitat behind the dam. Sediments that have settled out have covered rock bars as far as south as St. Helena and are more than 50 feet deep at the dam. Wow, that's crazy. Dam facts. Is the largest concrete gravity dry dam east of the Mississippi River, stands 245 feet tall above the bedrock. It is 760 feet above sea level at its spillway elevation, has a 550-foot wide spillway that, if ever required, would allow water to overflow the dam. So I'm going to back up. I'm going to frame in this whole thing, and you guys can pause if you want to read. There's a lot of good information on here. So pause it, read it if you want to. That couple I just met, they're actually from the Wilkes-Barre area. So they traveled a little farther than me to get here. It was about a 2-hour drive for me to get here. So our trail says we continue on this way. So that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna keep going this way. This dam is really, really freaking cool. But it's a little too chilly to stand stagnant. And silly me, didn't bring my gloves today. The temperature has dropped probably at least 5 degrees at the very least. So we're just gonna keep hustling here. There are some workers out here. There is a police car back there. I'm not sure if there's any police on duty or maybe if he's even sitting in the car, but this is awesome. We're only like 1.25 miles in and I'm just super ecstatic. Here at Letchworth, there are also, from what I've heard anyway, there are also like scenic driving areas where you can pull off, much like this one, and check out the views, the gorge, the waterfalls, all that good stuff. I might have to put my puffy jacket on. That wind is kind of cutting through me a little bit. So I'm not sure how much y'all pay attention to like outdoor related news and whatnot, but very sad story to report if you haven't heard about it. But there was a 21-year-old female hiker who died summiting Mount Marcy, which I think that's here in New York, if I'm not mistaken. I guess she slipped off trail and couldn't make her way back up, and it was very, very much wintertime conditions. And by the time search and rescue got there, it was too late. She had died of hypothermia. So I would not suggest trying to summit a mountain in the wintertime. I mean, unless you're a professional or you have extensive knowledge in that, like me, I would never try that. I would love to summit a mountain, but not in the wintertime. Will I ever in the wintertime? Probably not, because it's just that dangerous. But anyway, we're on a view of the gorge and the Genesee River here. Once again, we're just up probably, I don't know, 50 feet, but this is awesome. And you can tell, so this is not, it's not rock. This is like a dirt silt type gorge area. And you can see where the little barrier chain is holding the ice and all the silt that's drained down into the river. An extreme close-up for you to show you what the gorge walls actually kind of are. Just dirt, sand. Look at that. Even in the wintertime, on a moody day, you get a beautiful view. You just got to be willing to take the steps and do it. This is one of the reasons I love doing this, my friends. Something small like this can make you happy. I'm going to be honest, part of me is wondering when this trail is going to change elevation, because moderate trails, they get me every time. They'll start off really easy. Although I have done some trails that start off right away, just an uphill battle. It kind of sucks to start a trail that way, but again, this says it's a moderate trail, and I'm wondering when we're gonna change elevation, and I'm kind of wondering how severe it's gonna be. I've been considering switching from all trails to Onyx backcountry to get more of a 3D layout. I know all trails can offer you like a 3D thing, but I don't think it's as good quality as Onyx. So far, all we've been doing is walking the rim of the river gorge. And obviously you can see there's the park road. Let's just keep going, see what we see. Not the greatest view, but pretty awesome little fall there. Just another quick view of the gorge area river here. This is kind of essentially a vista area, hence the bench. Pat's place, rest a while. And then you have the back view of the dam. That's pretty awesome. I'm not unimpressed by this. So far, this trail has been stupidly easy. Again, I'm wondering when that's going to change. But if it doesn't, I guess we have a nice walk in Letchworth. In my opinion, I haven't been to many parks in New York, but Letchworth is by far one of the most notable. Robert Tremaine is another one. Stony Brook, which is in Dansville, New York. We passed that. I did that back, I think, the first year I started doing outdoor content. And Stony Brook is amazing. Just the waterfalls are awesome. I actually had a lady ask me if I was a professional photographer because I had I had my phone on a tripod and I was taking pictures and whatnot. I said, nope, just shooting content for my outdoor YouTube channel. You meet a lot of nice people when you're out and about. Switch my hands over here, putting them in my pockets because, again, I forgot my gloves. It's just so quiet out here today. I love this. This is exactly what I needed. Thanks for coming along. That water is so dirty looking. So you know how I told you it seems like it's gotten colder? It hasn't. It's actually gotten a degree warmer. So we're sitting at 43 degrees now. Oops. Never said I was a weatherman. But we're actually passing through the camp area right now. You can see like the grills and whatnot. All the picnic tables but we're actually heading back out into the woods, which is the part I've been waiting for. Okay, so a little bit of a change of plans. Obviously the river, the dam, was one of the points of interest on this trail, but another one is called Hogs Overlook. That is about 3/4 of our trail this way anyway. Again, it's an out and back trail, so we're gonna have to walk all the way back this way. But I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna hit Hogs Overlook, then we're gonna start hiking back. It's not because I don't want to finish the trail and there's nothing out there. It's just because we have the threat of severe weather coming. And I'm not sure when it's going to start, but I would rather be home than be 2 hours away. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about, but there's another trail that kind of comes off to the left here, but we're going to check out one more view of the river and the high banks. Then we're going to put some feet on the ground. Well, a few feet down the trail, we got another overlook. I don't know what overlook this is, but check this out. Wind has picked up. Well, that was an unexpected, incredible view. I thought we were going to be putting in the footsteps to get the hogs back, but I think that time is now, minus this pavilion shelter area. It'll probably give us more of an upper view of what we just saw. But this would have been a great place to sit and have some lunch. My stomach's actually kind of rumbling now. Oh yeah, this is more of an upper view. Check this out. So I'm really hoping as we hike along this trail, we might come behind those falls right there. Sorry, it took a minute to focus, but that'd be cool to see them from above. And we are a bit closer to it. I don't know if we'll get right up next to it, but love is a rare opportunity, and when that love is somehow parted, it's something deep down inside that wants just a reminder. A slice of the memory, a possession. I thought you might want to know why I came for Hetty's favorite chair. Now you understand, there is no such thing as dusk in the city. I'm guessing this is a memorial with a little bit of a view here. Trees in the way, but that's all right. So first of all, I had to break out the hot hands, and I thought I had more in my waist belt pockets, but I only had one, so now I'm flipping them back and forth between hands. But yeah, we've been making really good time on this trail. This has not been a moderate trail. This has been very easy, very, very easy. There has been little elevation gain. But yeah, we're not far from Hogs Back, probably a mile. But yeah, it's been a pretty cool little hike so far. Nothing crazy. You could probably take your dogs, have them on a leash though. God, you wouldn't want them to go over one of these cliffs. I mean, they're pretty much fenced in around, but that would not be good. All right, time to switch hands here. You know, honestly, with all the rain we've had the past 3 days, I'm really surprised it didn't wash all of this snow right away. Just melt it all and wash it all away. Seriously surprised it's still here. Old man Winter's got a way of hanging on, doesn't he? Another month before spring, my friends. Then the trees will be green. The bushes will be bushing. The flowers will be flowering. My feet will be moving. Now we're going into a little bit more of that remote part of the woods here, which I, again, have been waiting for. So I want to make sure we don't sink and fall into this if this is anything. Ooh, yeah. It's squishy. One thing that kind of keeps me company on trail as I walk, besides the flow of water, which you really don't hear out here, all you hear is the crunch of me walking through ice or snow or water, but birds chirping and singing and whistling and whatnot. And there's been a little bit of that today. And that gives me a lot of hope for maybe an early spring, possibly, maybe kind of, sort of. Fingers crossed. Little squirrel up there is making noise at me. How dare ye come through my property? Hogs Back Overlook. The ridge jutted into the canyon is called the Hog's Back for its resemblance to a wild boar's high hunched spine. The Genesee River flows 1 mile around this narrow peninsula. The river turns in many directions within the park, including nearly due south in its overall northward flow, but this is its most abrupt loop. This is where the water kind of loops around, hence forming that abrupt loop. Rhine Street, is it scale? And Cashaqua scale or shale? Maybe it's shale. So it also says here, it's pretty interesting, the rocks exposed by the river are formed from tiny particles of clay that settled in a tropical ocean 350 million years ago. Wow. These sediments washed from the Appalachian Mountains 250 miles east of here. In these layers of soft, easily crumbled shale, the river has carved a canyon 6 times wider than its 400-foot depth. The shale is still buried beneath younger, harder rocks exposed in 2 other glacial detour canyons in the south end of the park. That's awesome. One more look here and we're gonna start beating feet back the other way. Well, this has not been a moderate hike at all. This has been a very easy hike. In fact, to get here, we have hiked 3.42 miles. Well, that was a fun little trip, wasn't it? We made it back to the car safely, which is always a good thing in my eyes. Not a bad little trail. It was actually way more easy than a moderate trail. So all trails, you might want to fix that. I think the only person it'd be difficult to would be somebody that is disabled somehow, got a bum knee, bad hip, something like that. But in that case, you probably wouldn't want to be out on trail anyway. But I got a 2-hour drive back home, but I got to stop and pick up dinner, and I got to stop at the Sportsman's Warehouse where I was supposed to stop this morning and grab lunch, but it never happened. So I'm going to stop there, pick up dinner, and head home, which is a couple-hour drive. So thanks for coming along with me, you guys. It's been a couple weeks. I'm glad I got out here. It's very quiet, except for the maintenance work that's going on. But I appreciate you guys sincerely for watching the videos, watching this long into this video. One thing I'm noticing watching YouTube is all content creators have their own way of filming things, and everybody might have the same niche per se, outdoor wise. We all have a different way of filming, a different way of talking, a different way of getting frames or shots or whatever. But before this car comes along, I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and you all stay safe, stay healthy, and you all please be good to each other. We'll see you guys next time.